Hey, don't be scared of this code. So we're going to learn about OOP, alright? It's about objects and classes. For this video, we're going to use Java as an example. However, you are free to use any programming language since the concept is applicable in real life and in the most programming languages with their own syntax sugar. Alright, so let's get started. If you're not familiar with Java, the first line means the input. Basically, we do like 1, 2, 3 from the input or 4. That's the thing. You don't have to care about it much. The second one is class bank account, right? So the class, we're initializing our class. We could say class human, right? Class human and Shyngys, my name, here, for example, account number, I could say name, right? If I'm a human. So following this logic, customer name, account type. So let's say account number will be like 010. Customer name will be like Shyngys, my name. Account type will be, let's say, VIP. Long balance. So these are strings, as you can see, and this is balance. So it should be something like, let's say, $100,000. Well, actually, yeah, this is what I mean. But you actually don't put the sign and the sign here. All right, you just put it like this and like this, and you also have to put it like this to correct the format. Well, for the class human, it could be name, age, weight, whatever, whatever your fantasy is. So here it's private, right? Private. Well, why it's private? Because we cannot disclose the account number, right? And customer name, it's sort of disclosable, but still, in this example, I decided to keep it private. And same with account type, and especially with the balance, especially the balance. Well, you could think of, I could add any public things too, like the Visa or MasterCard, your card processor, or your like card material. Is it like golden version, or is it like some cheap plastic? But yeah, or for example, if we do the human class, let me clear this mess. So let me clear this. All right. So if we were doing the class human, instead of private, we should put public name, right? Public string name, just to be shorter. Public whatever age or birthday. Public, what could we say? Let's say your parents, right? Public, your mother tongue, right? Mother tongue. Yeah, this all public, and we could say private, and let's say your I don't know, your favorite password that you pick up on some platforms always, right? That could also be the thing. So let's move on. Next thing is just a scanner. As I said, it's just an input. You don't have to pay attention if you're not familiar with Java, and even if you're familiar too. So all right, so here we are creating a account, the public void bank account. Well, actually, this void is not correct. Ignore this. You cannot say it's void with a bank account. So that's my error. So we are saying public bank account because it has to repeat the class name. The class name I'm writing with a red. The class names should be the same. So the Java will understand. Well, Java or any other thing, let's say Dartlang too. In the Dartlang, they also have this rule. You have to write like this. And here we can see no parameters. So it means it's a default constructor. So we don't need any parameters. Why? Because we're taking this account number from the input, not from the parameters. So account type, we're just taking it. All right, so if we scroll down, let's scroll down. So we're taking the name here already, the balance basically, and here we have some. So this name, this account type, balance are the variables, are the data of our class, and here we see these are methods. These are methods. You see, methods show account. Why we use methods? So since the customer name and everything here is private, we can only show through this our own internal methods. Because what if somebody just, I don't know, we don't want anyone to see our data, right? Or access it directly. So let's say we don't want anyone to know our account type at all, let's say. So we just remove it from everywhere. We don't let anyone access it. So this is the simulating our bank transactions. So show account is easy basically, and deposit, it's basically taking the amount and just adds to your so here it should be amount. It adds to your balance here. That's it. That's how it works. So you can see here it's public and public. We could also define your private method, like private void, let's say block account, right? Well, they block account if you request them, or if you do something illegal, they're gonna block your bank account. So it should be private. No one should be able to just block your account anytime, right? So that's why it should be private. All right, I think this part is clear. Now let's move on. All right, so we don't have anything here much. So how do we call this though? Like, how do we call this bank? So let's say we create a new class called bank app, basically, right? Then we just in the main function, it's just to call the apps like it's used in Java. We just say new bank account. We could say like bank account and like account or ac. It's just this name doesn't matter. So we just say bank account and show account. We're accessing through the instance, the method of the instance, since it's not static variable. Since it's belong to specific instance, right? The balance belongs to specific instance. Not everybody can like get your balance. All right, let's move on to another. Okay. So let's do the let's do the problem set. So here we have some so just think about it. You just saw it, how we create a bank app, right? Bank account, but just by initializing. Now think of how to, well, not just bank app, but we also give the human example. So just now think of how to make the room booking using the same logic, the same structure. So just pause the video and think about it while I will move on. So to make it happen, we should initialize at first, like we did. We have to initialize the room, right? The classroom, the new class. And I just give it like room ID and booked false. That's it. You could give anything like owner or current person occupying the room, you know, up to your fantasy. So this is what? This is the constructor again, right? But you see, here we have the parameter, which is taking this room ID. Previously, we were taking from the scanner input, but right now, we're taking it directly from the parameter. So we can see it's this dot room ID. It's meaning that it says like, hey, assign this to room ID. This means the instance, right? It's not static. So string get room ID. This one is, since our method, since our book and room ID is private, we can only access using this method, right? Return room ID. Well, the cancel is the same, just book cancel. We are setting our new value through our method. Let's see. So in the bottom, if we scroll down, let's see. Yeah, here we have again returning and set book. Basically easy, right? Setting the room booking system in Java. Yeah, the concepts are previously, it was repeated. Okay, let's move on. How about the inheritance, right? The whole inheritance is fairly easy too. So for that, we need to do something like this. Same class initiating here. String brand name. These are automatically public. The Java takes it as a public. Well, in some languages, they might take it as private by default. So you have to be careful here. This is again the constructor, the parameters. You can see here the owner name. So we're assigning this brand name to the brand name, owner name to the parameter owner name. I'm just using this one, like slash and something. So it's like sort of protected. It's just my habit from the Python. So here we're just saying, hey, new business out there. Just this system, just to print our new object creation, right? Let's go. So let's scroll down. So here from the business, I'm using the Microsoft to extend this business, right? So I'm saying, hey, Microsoft is a business by extending it in Java using the keyword extend. And public Microsoft is basically the constructor of Microsoft here. And I'm just setting super. Super means it goes back to the business. It goes back to the super class, the class that it's extending. So it says, hey, the brand name is Microsoft, right? Let me annotate. So, hey, it's Microsoft. Hey, I'm Bill Gates, right? Super is just going there. Super is just going back here. We could say business, but super is like more fancy, and that's just, it's just supported in Java, so why wouldn't we use it, right? All right, so if we scroll down a bit, we can also see the calling this using this business Microsoft is new Microsoft. Look here, we can say business Microsoft, or we could say Microsoft and Microsoft is equal to Microsoft. So there's no difference, but well, there is a difference, but when we call business, it's also okay. It's also okay because we're extending from it. Just be careful when doing the static examples. Static, because they will be inherited from the business, not the Microsoft. Well, but just only specific to Java, so you might learn differently in your favorite programming language, right? Right, so let's go. We're just calling, and what will be the output? It's basically the hey, new business out there from the business, because we're calling it. So it will be system.println, and it will print this, hey, new system, new business out there. So this is the class extending the class. But did you think of the how to make it like not like class, but the interface, like a template, you know? Template. How to make it in a template format so we can make it like a template. Well, interfaces are our helpers in this case. Interface. Just pause the video, think about it, Google, search around, and we will move on. So, let's see. This is our interface. Same thing, we're just implementing the, let's say, the minimum tax. Well, the interface are tricky. We could say like, let me annotate. So since we don't have any method, we don't have anything here. And I just add this final minimum tax, just the minimum tax is 10%. Well, I cannot just add the int minimum tax because it's not allowed in the interface. So you have to add final, all right? And to, instead of extend, we use implements business. Basically the same here and same, but you see here, I'm not using the constructor, I'm calling directly here. Well, that's the trick of the interfaces. You cannot really define anything. You just have to like just set the function names. Let's say pay taxes. We just say pay taxes, let's say, in the interface, and we just leave it like this. Oh, well, not even like this, but we don't have to even define the curly brackets. We just leave it like this, right? Pay taxes, pay salary. Oh, like this, yeah, like, oh yeah, no curly brackets. We just leave it like this. It's mostly used in the Ethereum to create new tokens, like ERC 20 standard. People just create like Moonshot, Moon token, Safe Moon, Safe Mars, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. All this, just copy and paste this one code. Like, that's it, and everybody makes money and losses together. So let's move on this code. So if we scroll down, we're calling here this business Microsoft again, and nothing changes. It's just the interface, that's it. Also, there is another way. It is by using the, instead of interface, we could use abstract class. Abstract class. And here we don't have to define anything. We could define this directly here, because it's a class, but it's just an abstract, right? And instead of implement, we just write extend because it's a class again. Well, there's no difference, except abstract class is same as interface, but like interfaces are more handy for me personally. So you have to find your own style too, you know. All right, in this episode, that's it. Like, the concepts were pretty explained easily, and basically Well, I think the classes are clear now, right? Like we go through the actual examples of bank account, of the humans, that humans, you know, inherit from animals, and like all humans are sort of objects. Like we all have the name, like same attributes, like name, like weight, just different values, right? Also, the room booking, fairly easy, right? You just have to set each room like false, true. Is it booked? Yes, true. Is it booked? False. You know, no, it's not booked. And same like private methods, like when you do a private handshake with your friend, it's like private method. When you just say hello to everyone, it's like public thing, you know. Well, sorry if you're introvert. Basically, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. See you in the next video.